Welcome to HistoricHole. My name is David, and as always, I'm joined by Jason, and we have a special guest this week. His name's Kevin.
How you guys doing?
Well, you may be wondering what happened to Michael. Well, we had an accident with the time machine, and we lost him. And
Somewhere in the 1500s, it got a little muddled.
So he's presumably king of England.
Sitting fat and happy on a throne.
Is that where you envision Michael?
That's where we lost him.
Yeah.
But whatever he did in the past changed the timeline, and now Kevin is the new Michael.
Yeah. Now we got a Kevin.
In case you can't tell, I'm black. So he did something.
Something fucked up.
Added some soul.
Oh, yeah. Lots of soul here. And today we will be discussing methylene dioxymethamphetamine, also known as MDMA. And it also has a plethora of other nicknames, which we will get into as the episode moves forward.
Ecstasy. Molly.
Yes.
X.
Shit like
white
that.
girl. Wait, ooh. I'm
Wrong girl.
I'm
Wrong girl.
Ooh.
That's cocaine.
Sorry.
Which also comes up. But anywho, MDMA was first synthesized in 1912 in Germany. They were looking...
Of course it was.
Yeah, right. They were looking for a drug to help with blood clotting.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, allegedly.
A lot of it...
Likely story.
A lot of drugs to help the blood clotting back in the day was synthesized from a plant. It was hydrastinine.
It doesn't matter.
But
Oh, it does. I kind of want one.
in certain the climate, they couldn't grow the plant, so they tried, chemically synthesizing it. A man named Dr. Decker did it, but he sold the patent to Bayer, the headache.
Aspirin company.
Yeah, the headache medicine.
Wow. This is making a lot of sense.
Right. And another German company named Merck were looking for ways to circumvent that patent. So they were just trying to synthesize the hydrastinine and accidentally made MDMA.
I feel like they've accidentally made all of the
All
recreational,
the good drugs they
Everything.
accidentally made. Yeah.
Viagra.
except marijuana
MDMA,
wasn't made. But
Acid.
anything that's synthetic, yeah. It was an accident.
Right.
Oops.
Salvia. Questionable still, but...
Happy accidents.
What's that? What's the other stuff? Spice, K2.
I don't know if any of that's good.
That's synthesized though, right?
It's synthesized.
Yeah.
God would not have made that.
God wept on the day K2 was synthesized.
So since it wasn't what they were directly looking for, they shelved it. And sort of just let it simmer around. The German chemists revisited it several times. 1920, once again, trying to find another hydrastinine sort of...
Substitute.
Yeah, thank you.
Why can't you talk? This is like your
Honestly,
only job on here.
I think he's a little shy because I'm here.
Yeah,
I don't know
right?
if you know this, but
I'm trying to perform here.
He's making him nervous, Kevin.
I can't help it, man. It's just that
It's just
that sultry voice.
It's all that soul.
your soul's intimidating him.
So
He's so white.
1920, they tried again. Nothing came of it. 1922, they tried once more, but this time they started testing on animals. Once again, nothing came of it. And then they it got put on the back burner for a while. It didn't come back up until 1959 when a man named Wolfgang Furstorfer
Excellent name.
started fucking around with the drug to sort of come up with a stimulant for German air pilots.
Oh, the war has brought so many good drugs to the world.
Right.
Honestly, I don't know if I could say this, but God bless the war. God bless wars.
God blesses wars. But also around, late 50s, early 60s, the U.S. government found out about it, and they were like, well, guess what? We're going to start testing it on people in the MK Ultra project. where they were just dosing people with all kinds of stuff to see just what would happen, because they were trying to find truth serums and ways to, get
Mind control.
Yeah, mind control.
Wow.
Information out of spies and shit like that. And they were doing well until someone died, and they were like,
Whoa. They were doing well until someone they couldn't cover up died, and then all of a sudden, oops,
Yeah, there you go.
Oopsie daisy.
It was too out in the open.
Oh no!
Jumping out of a window is pretty noticeable.
Did I do that?
That's what he did, right?
Jumped out of a window.
oh, that was LSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somebody died on
Yeah.
MDMA as well.
Yes, someone died.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, someone died, and they were like, okay, let's stop doing that now.
So the LSD death wasn't enough. They were like, well, let's keep pushing it.
Well,
Let him do-
the LSD death, I'm sure, was just the beginning of all of that. They were like, okay, LSD, that we should probably keep using this one.
Yeah, right.
MDMA was probably just right up there after that. Because once they tested like weed, they're like, okay, this just makes people more chill. May as well skip this.
Yeah. Fear tactics.
Fear tactics.
Reefer madness.
Now, another derivative was methylene dioxyamphetamine, MDA, which a lot of psychedelic people who use psychedelics like to use MDA.
Ravers.
Yeah,
We're about to
ravers.
say ravers, and
Yeah.
then he
I
stopped
hope-
himself, and then he went,
Well, because they weren't technically ravers
stop
yet.
second guessing yourself, dude. You're doing great.
Ravers.
Come on.
I've
You got it,
honestly
bro.
never been to
You
a
got it,
rave,
bro.
so yeah, you could have owned me on that one.
No. Raves didn't start happening until the 80s.
Go with your gut, man.
This was
You're
just-
second guessing yourself.
This was just people being free.
Oh, before the rave was really
Right? It
cool.
was just a party. It wasn't classified as a rave yet.
Dude, cybergoth. That shit's wild.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Cybergoth.
Have you never seen those videos where there's like fucking like EDM playing and there's a bunch of
Oh,
goth
wait.
kids all like dancing? Like,
I
doing-
saw. I think I saw a
Under the
Cybergoth
bridge?
video, like Cybergoth.
The
Oh, yeah, the
cybergoth funeral.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I gotta say, if
Too
my
bad we
homie-
don't
if
have
my
video
homies-
because we're kicking it out here with the dance moves.
if my homies don't do that for me, they're not really my homies.
Now, in the U.S., outside of the U.S. government, some psychologists, psychotherapists started using it to treat patients because it was
It's awesome.
Yeah, and also like LSD, they were like, oh, it helps people heal themselves because it takes away their inhibitions. They can actually, speak freely about their past traumas and sort of work through it. So you had a man named Alexander Shulgin, nicknamed Sasha.
Ooh,
He synthesized MDMA in 1965 in Chicago. Didn't really test it on anyone. He was looking at derivatives of dioxys, something,
Yeah.
methylene dioxys stuff.
Foxy.
So he once again,
Foxy methoxy.
accidentally came up with it as he was researching other things, and then a chemical company from Los Angeles asked for the recipe. So he was like, "Oh yeah, here you go."
isn't that like giving your masters away? Like, why would he give you the recipe? It's like the secret sauce.
That's what these drug.
Well, he hadn't done
these
it
drug
yet.
guys were always doing.
I would
They
know.
were so high. They were just like, bro, just spread the love.
How much do you know? How much he gave away for?
No, he was sharing amongst colleagues.
That is ludicrous.
Right?
Luda.
None of these guys had a business mindset.
No, they're very Tesla with it. If you don't mind me saying, I don't know how you guys feel about
there you
Tesla.
go. Yeah, no, it's actually like a very apt comparison.
Right?
Probably, right?
Good job, Kevin.
It's just like it's for the
Yeah, that's smart,
the
too.
furtherance of human knowledge.
I actually appreciate people like that. That's more me. I don't want this to be a bad representation of myself.
So he synthesized MDMA,
yeah.
sent it off to this company in LA, and then MDA got
Got what? Spit it out.
Jason, we told you we would do Molly after.
oh shit, I dosed too soon. It was scheduled.
right, bro.
It was Schedule 1 substance. So they outlawed MDA, and then MDMA started becoming more popular because they're sort of the same drug, pretty much, because they're both
They're sort of the
methylene,
same.
dioxy, whatever's.
But that's a
Well,
classic situation. with
One's
synthesization.
methamphetamine, the
And
other
one is just amphetamine. Yep.
So
Which one's better?
I would assume the meth.
Yeah.
Right?
It's more, I
Right,
guess.
folks?
If you've tried meth, leave a comment.
Y'all like
below.
meth, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out
Let
to
us
meth.
know. Let us know. Let us know what it's like. No shout outs.
So MDMA or MDA got outlawed in 1970, and then we started seeing a uptick in MDMA usage, mostly coming from Los Angeles.
What a shock, man.
Right?
They're all on drugs out there.
I thought that was the city of God. The city of angels.
City of Angels. City of God is Rio de Janeiro, right?
Whoa. These are both very let's keep going.
Yeah, we don't need to hang on there.
Holy places, is what I was gonna say.
So, Sasha was living in Chicago, and then he started talking to some college students who came from universities in California. And like, oh yeah, we took this substance and we had a great time. And he's like, that sounds familiar. I wonder if I did that.
Wait, describe to me your symptoms. You had fun, dancing, sweating. I made that drug.
I did that for you.
You had uncontrollable euphoria.
Huh, you say. He's just like scribbling furiously in his notebooks. You had more friends
Your
with
pupils
similar
look
experiences?
Your pupils look like saucers.
So after talking with some students, he decided to, I'll try it myself. So in September and October.
Don't mind if I do.
I'll have what I'm having.
So in September and October of 1976, he was taking 100 milligram dosage, and he described it as his low-calorie martini. He would just take it and chill out at home after a hard day's work and, just have a nice, calm evening, realizing a lot about himself and just having a good time,
I think I read that in Cosmos.
Rolling.
Yeah, he rolled with it.
Yeah, roll with the punches.
Then he, after taking it, he decided I'm going to tell everyone about this because it was actually quite amazing. And I feel like other psychologists would benefit from it. So he gave a presentation in December of 1976 in Bethesda, Maryland. He was talking to a bunch of psychologists. One of them being David E. Nichols, who decided to write a report on how it affected the psychoactivity of the drug and how it affected people.
Was it positive?
Yes, it was.
Okay, thank God. I feel like
Psychologists love drugs. They're like, it just
because
helps
they're
people.
scientists in themselves. It's only when it's out in the public.
No
that
wonder,
things
like-
become bad.
Like the extreme religious right fucking hates psychology. It's
Well,
like-
because they approve drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
They're
just
all on
just
drugs.
the antithesis of it all.
he's like, how
You can't have a more
tell me?
spiritual thing that we're telling people.
How are you gonna tell me that all these people on drugs know what's going on with me more than myself? That's probably their thinking. I mean, fuck, I don't know. Psychology's kind of
Are you kidding me?
kinda
Priests
weird,
have
right?
definitely done drugs. If anything, how do you become a priest without a little
MDMA.
in your life at least? I guess just through the will of God, really.
And that's called MDMA. They described
through pedophilia.
So that was unnecessary.
They described MDMA as inducing an easily controlled altered state of consciousness with emotional and sensual overtones, comparable to marijuana and psilocybin, devoid of the hallucinatory.
Properties.
Yeah.
Component.
Hallucinogenic is actually a word too. So
Yeah, it's a word, but it's not the word.
But the
we need.
quote that I have right here in front of me says hallucinatory.
more pretentious quote you have there.
Yes. And they believe that the drug allowed users to strip away habits and perceive the world clearly. And Sasha started calling it window because you could see into your real self.
Beautiful.
You
And
look directly into your days into your
soon
soul.
came the pain. Window pain.
Right?
Jesus.
Hey, this is what you brought me here for.
So all the psychologists were like, yeah, man, this is kind of working. So they just started giving it to all their patients. Psychotherapists started taking it themselves so that they could, prescribe it to their patients. And a man named Leo Zeff came out of retirement. Was like, this shit's amazing. I'm going to teach. And then he ended up teaching like 30,000 therapists around the world how to use the drug in therapy.
Fuck yes. I love shit like that. Like shit that like it's just like inspiring. Like I feel like that's like why people do anything. Like you just make some shit, someone like in the woodworks who's been doing this for fucking all their lives, just looking at bullshit, just sees and they're like, there's hope. Honestly, I didn't waste all my time. I fuck with that.
And so what he started doing was these therapists, they would go to their patient's house and they would sort of just babysit. It was sort of
Trip sitting.
Yeah.
Roll sitting, whatever you want to call it.
It was laissez-faire, hands-free. They just let their patient experience the drug for themselves. And they would just open up about all of their trauma, their fears, hopes, dreams, all that shit. And it helped people.
It's just therapeutic, like going through a traumatic experience in a simulated way, in a weird way. Like you're not actually taking any physical toll from it, but going through like some shit that feels stressful, then coming out the other side okay.
So Zeph actually renamed the drug Adam, called it Adam because he felt that it put users in a state of primordial innocence.
A little sexist, if you will.
Right?
I guess Eve wasn't that innocent.
No, she ate that apple. So Adam started getting around. Window
Adam, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's starting to pick up a lot of street names here.
Damn, Adam is kind of tough. Can I get some of that?
Gotta get some Adam. You got that Adam.
He OD'd on Adam.
Hit me with that Adam.
What'd the Adam do though?
Like good.
So late 1970s into the early 80s, the drug is being dispersed amongst the psychology community for, therapy. But they don't want it to end up like all the other drugs that they were having a lot of fun with, being criminalized and whatnot. So they were sort of keeping it on the down low. There was one group of chemists in Boston that pretty much made all of the MDMA for the country.
Wasn't that similar situation to LSD? Like it was all synthesized
Yeah.
in one giant batch, and it was like enough for the country for years.
Well, there were actually several people making it randomly and then spreading it around.
Interesting. Okay.
But that was LSD. For MDMA, there was just this one group of chemists in Boston that were keeping it
all to themselves.
all
just
to themselves.
hoarding it.
Yeah, for therapy use.
They're trying to keep it nice, clean, good.
Yeah, they were noble. They had noble intentions.
If you would, they were leprechauns, and we just had to go to the end of that rainbow.
But, like all good things, word got out. And
of course it did.
people started using it
Recreationally.
Thank you.
If you will.
That
My
one.
God, dude.
I'm here for you, Jason.
Thank
Don't worry
you.
about it.
And so they couldn't keep up with production to appease all the orders coming in for the drug.
Are you kidding me? I would have ordered as much as I could afford immediately after trying it one time. I have parties to go to,
I would just be like, what's the recipe?
How much for the rest?
How did you make this?
Yeah, it started getting passed around in clubs like Studio 54 in New York, Paradise Garage, and then a man named Michael Clegg, who was a part of the Boston group, is like, this is a moneymaker right here. So I got some backers down in Texas. I'm just going to move my operation down there.
How did I know that this guy was going to be trouble?
Right?
Just with the name Clegg.
Clegg,
Taking the operation to Texas.
right? And now we have
bigger.
and now we have the Texas group.
Yeah.
Everything's big in Texas. They started passing it around Austin and started promoting it as a party drug, feel good, fun time party. And that's when he coined the term ecstasy.
So that's what made Austin weird.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So sorry. That's what made Austin weird. We could use that cut.
Coined the term ecstasy for marketability. And actually you could call a toll-free number And
Yeah, window really wasn't like real slick. You know what I mean? It's one.
Wait.
Dude, you want some window? It's like, dude, you what? Do I what? A fucking window? What are you talking about? But some dudes like, you want some ecstasy? It's just like,
Wait, are you saying this was like on the radio? They're like, call this toll-free number.
I'm sure it was in magazines or something.
How do people get
Like a local
information back then?
a Playboy.
So I'm jacking off and they sell me drugs.
And
Are you
yeah,
telling me
you-
that
you-
was the past? Like,
You
why did
find the
anything
girl
ever
that
change?
you just came, and then you flip the page. There's this toll-free number, and it's like, you want to have a good time? Call us. And they
X-ray glasses, next page.
dude, we really missed a good window of time.
For real, I would
window.
Fuck
use
off.
those X-ray glasses for such good, wholesome purposes. You know,
No, but seriously, dude, that fucking period between like 60 and 90.
Dude,
I mean, even 2000.
no,
like,
there
we
was-
could go to 2000.
there were
man.
some sad moments in that.
Like,
I don't
in
know
the-
if I was ready for it. I feel like things are a lot softer now.
Dude, nah,
Ooh,
man. Like now,
I don't
it's
know if I
gonna
would
be
have
all-
made it
it's
past
like
the
just-
80s.
Well, everything, yeah, you're right. Everything's so fucking safe now, and like that's what I'm saying. Like this is the wild fucking west. People are just like putting ecstasy, selling ecstasy in magazines and shit.
And like literally, it was synthesized maybe a year or two before the government doesn't even know about it. And this is
Right.
what people are buying.
The government
in
doesn't
magazines.
know what's going on. That's what I'm saying. The government's so fucking slow. Now they're just like on top of everything, and that's
It
what I'm saying. We're just
sucks,
the
dude.
only way we're ever gonna be able to go like live in a time like that is like they're gonna build Westworld, and it's gonna be of like the 1980s.
Right, where you could
We could
use-
just go fucking, and Reagan's president. Everyone's doing coke and ecstasy at Studio 54.
I don't want Reagan to be president, but I love everything else about this.
Well, I mean, that's what happened to the.
Can you
What
just, like,
do?
insert,
Like,
like-
you got to deal with it. That was the time. But
Damn.
I'm not saying I want Reagan to be. That's just what happened.
give me George. I want to see those teeth of his.
No, what would be funny though? It's like they do alternate histories. It's like, what if Dukakis won?
Yeah, actually, let's cut that out. Let's use that later.
So you call your toll-free number, you give them your credit card number, and they ship you ecstasy.
Fam.
And you paid it. You were paying taxes on it too.
For like pure ecstasy. It wasn't like
Yeah.
some bullshit that was cut with something that's like literally like
They had no reason to cut it. Like, why
no,
would
like
you
literally
cut
it was just like it's like
It's just free money at that point. They just got all the materials. I'm sure it was like pretty relatively cheap to
dude,
produce. I mean,
if I was
they
born
wouldn't do
in
it
the
if it
if
wasn't.
I was born in the 70s, like I don't understand like why I wouldn't be a chemist, like why everybody wouldn't be a chemist. Like it's like the best time to
Be a chemist.
be a chemist, yeah. You can literally just make everything after that.
It's really booming. The chemistry.
The chemistry business is
Chemistry
booming.
circuit, dude. The chemists were like the computer hackers before computer hackers.
Oh,
you know
for
what I mean?
real, like-
because like they could just go do illicit shit, make money on the
No,
side
that's
doing
so
that,
real. I'd like
and
the
then
tech
come
boom.
into their fucking white or blue, white collar job and just like do all science and honest science, and then go fuck.
No,
home.
that's so real. That's the tech boom exactly like that.
exactly, man. Is what it was. And then with computers, it's the same shit. Now hackers are just doing that. Just like illicit shit on the side. At night, it's fucking Neo, and then during the day, it's Mr. Anderson.
So you pay your credit, give them your credit card number. You get a brown bottle filled with
One second,
MDMA.
Jason. Sorry. I'm just getting over pneumonia. A mild case.
Mild case of the coronavirus.
I fucking wish. Apparently it's I'm just swimming in my own is what the doctor said.
Got a little bit of the lambda.
Ooh.
Got hit with that lambda.
I got got hit with D's, if you will.
Got hit with that D, that heavy delta.
You thought 8 was bad.
So you give them your credit card number. You're sent a brown bottle filled with MDMA tablets that's slapped with the brand name Sassafras. And
Beautiful.
then you have a jolly good time on your fun drug, which is good to dance to. It's how they
A
promoted it.
very down home.
Mom,
name.
it's just sassafras.
a down home name for fucking.
It's Texas, It's
Rave
sassafras.
It just sounds like a spice, honestly.
Dude,
The spice of life.
I wish like that was the fucking name, like the street name that caught on. Everyone
Sassafras.
just was- that
Dude,
could-
how is that not so? How was that not the street name?
It's like, yo, man, you got any of that sassafras?
Texas really fucked it up for the rest
Yo,
of us.
can you hit me with some of that sassafras, man?
I just need a little sassafras from
Can
you
you
and my
like, can you
friends.
give me a little bit. We're going to base next.
But if you went to like a different country, be like sassafras. That's really tight.
But they got too big for their britches, and the government found out about it. So the DEA started investigating it in 1982, and they were like, well, if we find that it could be abused and it could cause harm to people, we might schedule it. But, we'll give it some time. And then the media caught on, and they started
fueling the fire,
reporting
as they
stories.
always
See, the
do.
thing is, like, they could never avoid the government. If it was a good drug,
Dude,
then it was always inevitable.
But
from the beginning,
The
it's
media,
unfortunate.
the media attention was accidental promotion for the drug.
Of course, as all media attention is.
So the,
Streisand effect.
so the Texas group was
Wait,
like,
that's not what that is.
Surprise and
Well,
effects is what
actually,
you said.
no, I said Streisand effect, but like it was like that's more of like when people try and like suppress something, and they
Well-
don't want you to find out about it, and then that
And
causes
then
it to
that
spread
makes
more.
it much more
That's
hot.
not
yeah.
exactly what that was. Sorry.
Well, really, it's like people
Wasn't it?
it's just
leaking.
putting a spotlight on something that most people probably
Yeah.
didn't know about.
in a negative way, right? But
Oh
then
yeah,
it
they
just-
were saying, people are
see okay,
doing this thing
listen
and
to this.
passing out and shit like
Yeah,
that.
they're giving
See,
it
but the thing
negative
is-
press, right? And this is the whole thing. The relationship with the government and the media has always been there because, like, right, the government's like, oh, well, we'll see if anything bad happens. And then what the fuck happens? The media just all of a sudden just starts reporting on all of the bad things. Dude, that's how you got fucking legislation done, man.
No, but it's like really just.
It's just what
That's a
is.
separate note because the media is owned not by government officials but by individuals, and
Well,
they
no.
themselves have their individual.
They
opinions.
don't, like, you don't need to be, like, an explicit relationship, you know?
No, I mean
like,
it could very
they
very
just
likely be
execute
like
an
my homie.
agenda.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's all
Because
agenda based.
in exchange for information,
you get
what do
something out of it.
Yeah,
You get something out of
if
saying
I'm
what
gonna
you
leak,
say.
If I'm going to leak you documents or leak you exclusive shit, then you have to pay me back, which means you have to deploy these narratives when I need them.
No,
And
but
that's
honestly,
how it works.
I kind of agree with you because I suspect that the government didn't go into this blind all of a sudden talking about MDMA. I'm sure they knew about it.
Well,
far
yeah, they
before.
were dosing.
I mean,
people.
literally, some of these were
They
probably
knew
made
about it.
with government grants, is all I'm saying. So I'm saying that, like, the government was aware, and when media got involved, I'm sure government had a hand in that.
But
as well.
82, the war on drugs is raging at this point. Like, Nixon started that back
What
in
year
the
is
70s.
this currently?
Yo, we're in 1982 right now.
1982.
So, like, Nixon
Damn,
started the
that's
war
a
on
rough,
drugs,
That's a
right?
rough year for drugs.
Early 70s, I mean,
Happiness in general.
that shit started ramping up. Like, so, like,
Fuck Nancy Reagan.
this is a decade and some change after the war on drugs started. So it's just like they're targeting everything. And so, like, that's what they did here. It's just more of the same shit. Anything that was, like, a thing,
Anything that was
They went after
popular would be known. It's just
anything
inevitable
that had,
because
like...
you think all the cool people who
As
won't
Bill-
say anything are gonna get these drugs? No, like literally fucking Stefan from next door who has the back brace. No offense, I actually cut that out. Stefan next door with the high socks. That dude, he has MDMA. So if he has MDMA, the government knows about it. That's just all I'm saying.
Well, it's like Bill Hicks said. He said, all the drugs that make you realize how you're being fucked every day of your life, those are against the law. And that's what it is. It's like,
Damn, that's actually I never heard that before, but that makes a lot of sense.
right?
That
And the
actually
shit
makes a
that
lot of
makes you
sense.
docile and stupid, those are
They're
illegal.
with I feel like interesting.
It's not an accident, dude.
So with all the media attention, the DEA is like, fine, we'll start holding hearings and do some research. And July
Fine.
of 1984, they start investigating it, looking for people who know about it for comments.
What's your
Any-
relationship with MDMA?
Yeah,
Hi, sir. Have you ever heard of a drug called MDMA, which is currently illegal?
not illegal yet, but it's on the docket to be scheduled.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And I don't know if you know the scheduling process, but Schedule 1 is potential for abuse is high, accepted medical use is none, and will kill you if overused. And then it goes down from there. 2, high, but some slight medical usage, still dangerous overusage. And then 3, blah blah blah, goes down to Schedule 5. Not really can be abused, but can be used for medical use.
So is it only the fun drugs that get immediately Schedule 1?
Yeah, exactly right.
Because I feel like there's definitely drugs that will just kill you that no one abuses.
Yeah.
And those are just like not even known about.
Well, I mean,
I could buy
there's
rat
ones
poison at 5, I'm pretty sure. Why does the government not care about that?
well, I mean, like, people do abuse drugs that kill, like fentanyl.
Or
That
like
shit
crocodile.
wipes you out, man. Apparently, you don't even like need barely any of it to overdose.
why do something? It's like
And apparently
a grain of salt.
A while back, there was like
Kills
some. I saw because I fucking fuck around on Twitter, and I follow a bunch of these fucking like Brooklyn, New York comedian accounts, and some people were talking about. They're like, dude, fucking cocaine laced with fentanyl is going around right now. Apparently, people were fucking overdosing because somebody just like, I guess, cut cocaine or like through fentanyl and cocaine or something.
Oh, but the thing is, like, the ratios people go through cocaine. Not that I would know. Yeah, that would be a bad thing to get in your system if you got like a chunk where it's like 90% fentanyl. Like that is
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
line that hits you now.
But so
that shit should be off. Like, I don't give a fuck about that.
See, but the thing
stuff.
is, you realize like before the government had any intervention, it was just pure Molly. No one was really getting that hurt. It was just they couldn't control it. But now that the government has interceded,
yeah, exactly. Then you
all
get
of a sudden
tainted.
now people are dying left and right
It's a black
because people are
market
still trying to.
effect.
People aren't going to stop, but now they have to do other shit in order to get their money up.
Yeah, exactly.
well, as soon as the announcement for the hearings on MDMA came, therapists came out of the woodwork defending it.
The rapists.
No,
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they would.
Uh,
They were all fucked up on it. They were like, no,
right? No, it's
our
actually
meal ticket.
it's helping people. You
They're
know,
like, go back to shock therapy. Lobotomies. We need more of those.
Yeah.
Stop using MDMA.
Yeah, stop being depressed. We're going to stick a needle in your fucking brain.
MDMA is not helping you. You're too happy. I can see you smiling.
Right, yeah. It's like this is the thing, man. It's like why progress is so hard, especially with like therapeutics and stuff, is because like when
something works, they want to take it from you.
Well, yeah, it was working, and then the government had to come out and be all fucking authoritarian and shit.
That's the same exact thing with like psilocybin, like which is a miracle it's coming back. But like honestly,
Well, yeah,
they used to like just be.
It's
therapeutic.
taken years for all of this stigma and stuff to unravel around this. The
What a-
therapeutic uses of these drugs, obviously the recreational shit. I mean, everybody.
But it's
knows
almost like
exactly,
wasted because at this point we have other modern cures for the things that it could have cured before. Like we have like pills and shit for.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if I don't know.
I don't know if those are working,
I say
dude.
cure is as a loose term. Maybe treat, but psilocybin like has been like an option for years, and like we're still going to pills that apparently still don't even really work.
Well, that's the thing. Is
Honestly.
like I don't even know
So
if
it's
the
like,
therapy
what
is
have we
working
even-
right now because
So like, what have we even been like wasting a lot of time on?
you
Like,
hear about tons of people in therapy, tons of people with depression, anxiety, all these fucking issues, and all of the pills that they're prescribing, big pharma is prescribing, don't seem to fucking work. And that's what they're saying. It's like this stuff is with this stuff. What makes it different than just prescribing a pill?
because the pills just make you docile. They don't change you in any way. I
Exactly.
feel like going through like with like hallucinogenics specifically, you go through an experience that you just do
It's an
not
experience.
forget. It's like it's good or bad. Anybody who's tripped does
if
not
you
forget
have-
their trip.
And
ever.
if you have a trained clinical, psychologist there with you that understands the experience and understands kind of,
Giving you a guide through it.
and like allows you to sort of confront trauma in a way, because when
In a
it's
safe way.
taking you out of your normal everyday mind, and because of that you're able to view certain things in a different way, and maybe perhaps in a more disassociated way, so that you can actually almost like look at your trauma in almost a third person.
reflective. Like
And
it's
so
not
then
about
it
you,
can help
it's
you-
about this person, which is you, but now you don't have like
Helps
all
you
the same
cope.
shame and trauma like associated like so close to you. Like being in a different situation mainly
Well,
like triggers like some primal instinct in you to adapt, which is always perfect for change, honestly. Better
Yeah.
benefit.
So now we have all these therapists coming out defending the drug. We have the government saying we're holding hearings on it. And this is just free publicity for the Texas group. So they ramp up production.
I would too. Honestly, I would have never stopped.
They
I
were
would have been-
they were making 30,000 pills a month. As soon as the hearings started coming around, they were making 8,000 pills a day.
a little
That's-
excessive.
250,000 pills a month now, and they're shipping them everywhere.
Yeah.
DEA found out that MDMA was in 28 states and Canada. So they're like, all right, we got to put a lid on this.
It's an epidemic.
It's in Canada.
It's a pandemic.
So a senator named Lloyd Benson was like, hey, no, Schedule 1 classification. It's dangerous. It's going to hurt citizens of the United States. And the DEA was like, yeah, you're right. because now we are in the middle, July of 1985, now in the middle of Nancy Reagan's Just Say No campaign.
Yep.
Fuck Nancy Reagan.
And
That's all I gotta say
so
about that.
we have the hearings, or therapists defend the drug. The judge who is at the head of all the hearings was like, yeah, it's Schedule 3. You know, it's not that bad. It has some therapeutic use. So it's not, you know, we're not going to outlaw it. The head of the DEA was like, no, it's dangerous. Schedule 1.
Exactly. Fear.
Fear is the biggest
Be
motivator
scared.
of anything.
Be scared of the drug.
Be very scared.
Be scared of what you don't understand.
You can't handle the funk.
A
Stay away.
Harvard psychiatrist named Lester Grinspoon sued the DEA.
These scientist names, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but god damn, man. These
Right?
guys were destined
That's
to be
why,
scientists.
yeah, exactly. That's why they're in science.
Names did him no favors, man.
What, can I hear that name one more time?
Lester Grinspoon.
Grinspoon. I feel like I've heard that last names are like a symbol of what the people in the old days used to do.
Sounds like a fucking teacher at Hogwarts.
I feel like he just stared at a spoon and was like, haha, it's me in there. And then that's how he got his name.
So he sued the DEA for ignoring the medical uses of MDMA, which all the therapists were putting forth.
Is that something you could sue?
Yeah, you didn't take our testimonies into account.
Interesting.
You just did whatever you wanted. He said,
It's basically like saying it's like false advertising in a weird way. I don't know if that's a great example, but basically they're saying like this is a good thing, and you're saying it's bad.
It's not a slam dunk case. It's a hard one to make.
It's a hard win. It's a
ju-
hard fight. Honestly, I feel like it would be.
And-
And you're going against the government.
judges agreed with him. They were like, no, he's right. Your case was a little weak. So yeah, Schedule 3. It's not that bad. It lasted for a month, and he's like, nope. The man's name was John C. Lawn, was the head of the DEA, who decided he was just going to go ahead and outlaw the drug because, and here's the reason why, none of what the therapists were saying was ever printed in a article or journal or report.
Mm-hmm.
He had over 200 people saying it was helping people, but because no one ever wrote it down,
because they're trying to keep it low key.
Yeah.
It kind of bit them in the butt at the end.
Again,
because like they didn't keep any.
Media lying by omission is what that's called.
I mean, how many people have gotten fucked over in a court case because of that? Lying by omission is the only way you can really win.
Like,
it's like
a
no, it's not the
straight-up
only way,
tactic.
but it's
an
like the
actual
an
tactic.
immediate tactic of all things. If you haven't got evidence against me, then how do I know that you didn't do that? How do I know it's good at all?
Well, just anything that makes any of them and their allies look bad, they'll just fucking lie about it.
Honestly, it's
By omission, by not mentioning it. And it's like, well, if you're going to report on an issue, you should probably present what both parties, especially if it's a dispute about something, what both parties are saying, what there are, an accurate.
definitely not.
An
If you're trying to
accurate-
make any amount of money, you should never equally distribute this weight. Like you should talk to somebody before that get paid. Which is
Well,
how
that's
it
what
all
it
ends
is.
up.
It's always,
just how it
it's
ends
always
up.
like they're always usually
Everyone's pandering to one side because
Trying-
like they're aware of both, obviously.
like it's really often that journalists, are just trying to curry favor. So the way they do that is by
Well, it's a lot of give and take because sometimes in order for you to say what you want to say, you have to also say what someone else wants people to hear, which is unfortunate. But that's just how things honestly go.
and now MDMA is outlawed. And what happens whenever you outlaw something? A black market pops up, and it starts sneaking in to people who probably shouldn't be taking it, namely teenagers. High school students start using MDMA, and late 80s, early 90s, we have rave culture coming around, and people want to party, and so they find the drugs to help them do that. Because everyone loves an amphetamine type drug. Helps get the heartbeat up.
You know
it's
what I
like
mean?
if I'm gonna be dancing for like 12 hours straight, I'm gonna need something.
Honestly, it's wild. Like I don't know how people dance before drugs. That
Red
shit's
Bull's
tiring.
not cutting it.
MDMA becomes one of the 4 most widely used illicit drugs in the U.S., along with cocaine, heroin, and cannabis. And it stays in the party scene. Then in the middle of the 2000s is when the name Molly comes around.
God bless that woman who fully
Which is
embodied
short
it.
for molecule.
That is really.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's what it's short for.
I don't know if I respect it as much. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was one girl who made a difference.
And now, in 2017, the FDA gave permission to use MDMA for therapeutic uses again. And now we have some research going into that. And
What do you think the consequences of suddenly legalizing something that's forever been illegal would be? 'Cause I know that the people doing it, the people in control of the legal substance aren't going to stop ever. And it's also more convenient for most people because at this point, like you said, it's people who shouldn't have it, like teens, people underage, people who like
well, when they outlawed it,
just wouldn't be able to buy it through normal means legally.
when they outlawed it, they also started outlawing ingredients that made MDMA.
Is that ever like an actual solution? Like it's like when people like started making bombs. Like now farmers can't buy fertilizer unless they have like a fucking paper about it. It's like such a weird.
I need a license for
consequence.
this. And so since they started outlawing some of the ingredients, China came forward, was like, hey, guess what? We have a substitute, and guess we're gonna give you what you want. And the substitute was not that good. And what they ended
Of course it wasn't.
what they ended up making,
China.
what the drug they ended up making became nicknamed Dr. Death because you would take it
Ooh, give me some of that Dr.
And
Death.
fucking die.
and you'd
I wonder
be
if
having a
people-
good time for a little bit while, and then you get overheated, dehydrated, and pass out.
That's my
and
favorite
die.
part. Oh, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
You
the last
did.
part. You can only be reborn so many times.
Break out the Narcan.
Give me 2. Just boom, boom. Man, the thing about synthesization is like, why was it so good back in the day and so bad now? I feel like anything you hear synthesized nowadays just literally leads to brain trauma and seizures and shit. Like at what point did we fuck up? Is it just about money at this point? People are just using like cotton balls.
Don't do drugs.
Well, yeah,
kids.
they're using cheap ingredients, and it's not making the best product.
But I'm also sure it's like not made by like government chemists at this point. So it's like it's just made by like some
never
drug
made by
dealer.
government.
exactly.
No, but like
this
it-
was
like-
never made by government
Old- no,
chemists.
but
This was
old
made by
things-
people who cared. They
These are
wanted
just chemists.
to wanted to make something
Kind-hearted
that
chemists.
help people.
The original ecstasy was made with love.
Oh,
The secret ingredient is love
damn! That's what gets me rolling, man.
and crime.
Crime is an aftermath, really. You can,
To quote
crime is a side effect.
To quote Super Hands.
Wow.
All right, are we? Is that it, Jason?
And that is MDMA.
MDMA,
All right.
the
All right.
love drug.
So let's get to the shill stuff. Give us 5 stars on iTunes if we're worth it. Even if we aren't worth it, delude yourself into thinking we are. And do it anyway, because that's what everyone does in the world today is lie to themselves, which is totally healthy, so do it.
But not if you're taking MDMA. You can only tell the truth.
We're audio only for now, but we're going to still put the episodes on YouTube, so you can find it there. But it'll just be audio, so no video. I'm sorry.
You can't see my pretty face just yet. Mwah.
The world's not ready for Kevin quite yet.
Oh man, and it's also a legal matter. I can't be visually shown.
For legal reasons, we can't show Kevin. Follow us on the social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter. I'll post the full episode on IGTV as well. Word of mouth is the best advertising that we can get. So if you like it, tell people about it. That's the best way to support us. You can email me at HistoricHole@gmail.com with any questions that you'd like us to answer. Probably won't do that, though, because nobody emails me. So, whatever. And so with that, statement of the week this week is there's going to be a lot of evictions soon, maybe. BlackRock's going to buy it all. Life is full of holes. Enter wisely.
Bye.
I love you guys.